to the LEC post-game lobby. I'm Laure and I am joined by Caedrel and Jankos from the victorious G2 after taking down Fnatic in our match of the week. Jankos, thank you so much for joining us. This match of the week was everything I was expecting it to be. Drama, upsets, because I feel like today Fnatic was maybe the favorite to win. Would you agree on that?
I guess so. I mean, they did have more wins than us, right? And I think that their victories were maybe more convincing in the past, and that is why I believe that they were the favorites. I agree.
Did it feel better to win against Fnatic now that you're against Wunder after he's left you? Was there any kind of like banter in the all chat? Because I know you guys at G2 love the banter in all chat during game.
I mean, honestly, I was quite surprised because Wunder did not say anything in the lobby, which normally he does. But yeah, no, there was no banter whatsoever. But of course, it feels so much better winning against Fnatic, and it feels so much worse losing to Vitality before, since Perix is there, right? And I'm definitely looking forward to a rematch against Excel, so I can smash Mickey.
Oh, poor Mickey.
Right. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of enemies this year in the LEC with the some of the G2 squad from last year parting ways and joining other teams. Does it give you extra motivation to beat these teams, Jankos?
Definitely. I mean, I think that I care way more about wins against my previous teammates than I care about other teams. But at this current state, I think any win is good. We lost already 2 games, right, to Vitality and to Mad Lions. So I think we just want to prove ourselves, and you know, we treat every game as a very important game so that our regular season can look somewhat good, and then hopefully we can keep being better and better for playoffs.
Something you just said there, prove ourselves, is an interesting take, because I think that G2 for the last 2 or 3 years has been a team where everyone, fans, analysts, were just like, well, they're G2, they're probably going to win. They're G2, yeah, they're going to win the split once again. Do you have a kind of different mentality coming into this year where you know the analysts aren't so much favoring, or fans are kind of giving G2 more time to grow?
Well, I never actually cared. So I think my mentality doesn't change, because no matter if we are the favorites or if we are not, I don't give a lot of care about it. So that is why I think it doesn't change for me. But of course, I think being the underdogs, there's less pressure on you. And maybe for the new players like Targa, FLICKR, maybe it is better. But I also hope that, I mean, I think their mentality is really good. And so far, they have been playing amazingly well. And they adapted very, very well. And I think they play good stage games too. So I'm super happy with the team so far. And I think from here and onwards, we can get only better.
Yeah, and it looks like everything is clicking. One question that I have, though, are you guys done with COVID and everything? Because I heard that everyone was sick, so I'm just making sure that everyone is healthy now and ready for the rest of the split.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I mean, our analyst is still caged, or quarantined, because he still had a positive result. I actually had positive result for like 14 days straight. It was crazy, but I got my negative yesterday, so I'm also free now. Very happy. I think we are done dealing with COVID. We also started practicing like all together lately, so I think it feels much, much better. It actually feels like you're a team and not everyone separate in the rooms, and you have to scream from your room, and you cannot really see anyone, and the reviews are worse. So I do think that you have to be together as a team to actually play well, and this week showcased that we can get better if we play together, and hopefully again that COVID is done for our team, at least for now. We can, you know, play better and better.
Yeah, do you think that COVID kind of put a dent in your practice environment? Or like, of course it was very difficult because all of you had to separate and things like this, but did you feel like coming into this weekend you're 1 step behind on the new patch?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like I wouldn't blame our losses on the fact that we had COVID, and I wouldn't say that we deserve to make another excuse. That being said, I do feel like our practice is better now, and this week of practice, we probably lost the most games out of any week we have been together as a team, but that also makes us way stronger, right? In the end, you can kind of learn a lot more from losses than you do from wins. At least I believe so. So then again, I think it's okay now, and we will do well.
I want to know more about the team itself, because as you said, this is a new G2 team in the making with some new players, some rookies also. And I know that usually scrim results may differ from what we see on stage, in the sense that sometimes players play more fearless on scrims than what we see on stage. Do you think that's also something that applies to G2 right now? Or do you have the same results that you guys have during scrimmings, maybe?
I mean, it's hard to say for us. I feel like so overall teams play more aggressive, but not really aggressive. It's more like no one really cares if they lose, right? Because in the end, the win or lose is meaningless in Scrim. It's more about trying to improve. So people take more fights, and naturally there's more outplays, and naturally because of that, the games are way more bloody than what we see on stage normally. That being said, I think for our team, it's actually quite similar. The mistakes that we did in Scrims were the mistakes that punished us in the 2 losses we had, and even some of our early games, or especially against Fnatic, I think yesterday early game was really good. We just started like running it down in mid-late game, but I think the early game against Fnatic today we also got punished because of scrims. So I think our games are similar, but sometimes we don't get as punished in scrims, and then maybe we don't get away with it as much on stage, and then we lose, or we tend to have like weaker games, or it's more difficult to win. But overall, I think our scrims are quite similar actually. Nice. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I remember Elioya said in an interview yesterday, he was saying like, well, I think our team's okay on stage, but I wish we inted a bit more on stage because then we can at least get the jitters out for the first few weeks and play a little bit better later on.
Yeah, and let's check on the Mad Lions actually, because you mentioned them. I want to take a look at the standings right now because Rogue still remains undefeated after this week. They have an important matchup. They were facing off against Vitality earlier today, and I don't even know if I want to say it comes as a surprise, Caedrel. The team has been so stable, and Malrang brings so much to the team.
He definitely does bring a lot to the team, and you guys face up against Rogue next weekend, Jankos. Is there anything that's going, like a plan or anything going in? Are you guys going to be the one to stop them from the perfect split, you reckon?
I mean, I think that Malrang overall has like a very team playstyle, and I think the Rogue, the way they drafted at least, right, is like heavily for team fights and heavily for being together as a team and good scaling. I mean, overall, I actually think that the biggest strength Rogue has is their drafts. I think that every single game they have a really good draft, and that helps them to win games a lot. That being said, they also play very, very well. Of course, Malrang is playing very well. I also think the other players are playing well. So it is a tough opponent. Vitality did stomp us last time. They did not manage to beat Rogue. I think maybe our draft against Rogue will have to be quite creative to win, but at the same time, I'm very confident that if we play scaling, we can actually win, and if we play early game, we can actually win. So yeah, we will see. It's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, you just gotta stick to something. A quick question on draft. I actually wanted to pick your mind here a bit about jungle. To me, from the outside perspective, it just looks like jungle is kind of blind pick Lee Sin or Xin Zhao on 1-2. Maybe pick Jarvan on 3 if they have some immobile carries, and maybe an AP jungler if you get Renekton. That looks like it's about it. There's not much diversity. What do you think?
I mean, I would say that this kind of diversity, right? Well, we have the strongest champions. Maybe in 2 weeks, it's going to change. I believe the newest patch next week will kind of kill Goddrinker or make it way weaker. So then maybe we'll see, I know, maybe even more tanks, more Chemtech users like Malrang showcased today, the Volibear with Chemtech, and he was, very good on it. So I do think you can be creative, and I do think you can play a little bit off meta. You can also play Poppy maybe into Jarvan. You can play Trund into Xin Zhao. You can maybe ban out the junglers and try to go for a counter pick. So there are ways you can make it work. But I think the easiest right now is what you mentioned. You leave all the junglers up, and then maybe you trade them. Maybe don't. Depends on the team. So as much as we don't see a lot of variety in the jungle throughout the season, I think so far, in LEC at least, I also don't think it's a bad thing. And, well, Riot didn't really change the game as much, especially removing the Chemtech Drake now, right? So I feel like they actually want to change the game next week, and yeah, well, we'll see if they do or not.
That's gonna be fun.
And about that Chemtech Drake being removed, good or no? What's your take on this? I know that usually players don't really like this map and this dragon in particular, so your take on it?
Well, my take is that I don't care again. And that is because I play the game and I like to win. And what brings me happiness is to win. And without winning, I'm not happy, and I don't really have that much happiness. So I adapt. I adapt to whatever is good and whatever is bad. So if the Drake is there, I'm going to play the game with the Drake. If the Drake is not there, I'm not going to play the game with the Drake. Right. I do think it was quite annoying, and I do think that like maybe, words not working there, and like the whole Rengar thing at the beginning, and the whole zombie thing, which was unplayable against. So definitely they can make it maybe more interesting when they bring it back. And for now, since the player base hated it, it's fine.
Win is good, lose is bad.
One last question I have about jungle, Jankos. We were mentioning the pool of champions that can be played. I see that players still put a lot of emphasis on Viego and J4, especially even though these champions have not found success so far in the LEC. Do you have maybe an answer on that as to why these champions don't find success?
I think it's because I mean, at least I believe that Viego needs a really good setup to make it work. I don't think you can just... Well, he's always fine in the early game, right? He's clear very fast and he can skirmish, but if you don't get a reset, you are kind of useless. So when enemy team has like Zinzao or Jarvan or LEC and whatever, these champs naturally will do more unless Viego gets a reset. So you need a comp to play around Viego, you need a comp that gets you a reset. If he gets a reset, he can actually go crazy. For Jarvan, I think, well, normally people play it just because Zin and Lee Sin is banned, but I think Jarvan has like a niche pick where you play it into no dashes like I did yesterday, right? If I catch multiple people with my ultimate, they can't move and they will most likely die. So I feel like either we are boosted at using the champions or we just don't create good opportunities for the champions. You can choose one.
I will not comment on that. We'll see about that, and we'll also see if the meta can evolve in the jungle, because when we look at the MVPs we have in the LEC right now, and especially the key player of the game leaderboard, I don't see many junglers. I mean, by the end, but mostly mid laners support.
You have to, but
yeah, two, but not the ones who win the most Caedrel.
Yeah, I mean, FLICKR said in an interview mid lane is the most broken role right now. So, I mean, yeah, VTO is just kind of showing that to us all here. Hylissang clutching the wins. Broken Blade getting his third today, I believe, on the Aatrox. Seems to be slotting in really well into G2.
Actually, I don't know how this guy is yeah, I don't know how, but it's fine, you know, like, it's okay, you know, like, it's fine. He can have 3 MVPs, it's okay, like, you know what, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
The ultimate I'm triggered, yeah, it's fine, yeah. It's
you switched top laner this year, actually. It had been years since you were playing with a Wander. Tell me about Broken Blade and the relationship that you have, the synergy that you have, because we know that it's super important in the game, synergy, top, jungle. How much is it different compared to Wander in terms of communication? He also brings the crazy picks. We saw that the Corki the first week, the action. But yeah, how is it been working with BB?
I think he's very easy to work with, actually, because he's quite loud about his opinion on the state of the top lane. So that helps me a lot, right? Because if I understand how he thinks, I can kind of adapt my playstyle to him if needed. So I actually have a lot of fun working with Broken Blade. I also think he's a very funny guy and he likes to talk, and I also like to talk, so then when both of us talk, like, we just talk a lot of talk. But yeah, I think me and BB have been working well so far, and I think he's very fun to work with, and I also think he's a very positive and fun person, and I think he brings the mood up in the room, just in case, let's say, maybe I don't have the best day, or maybe Kaz doesn't, or FLICKR or Targa, he can bring the mood up, and then we can do the same when he's not having the best day. So overall, I think he's a good team. He's a good teammate and he's a good player.
I want to iterate on what you just said, because, I mean, obviously you guys are getting along, but we know that for so long, G2 was known as the friends team, the teams and players who really get along, which is what brought you guys so far, I think, especially in 2019. Do you see a similar vibe with, or are you trying to recreate a similar vibe with the players this year?
I mean, when we were building the roster, we did go for players that hopefully match well together and have kind of similar vibe. I think we succeeded in that, actually. I think everyone in the team is very open-minded when it comes to playing champions, but also quite open to take criticism. But also, we don't have that much like cockiness. We don't have these, oh, maybe I played so long, so I don't listen to Targa, and you know, he has to listen to me. Like, everyone is very open when it comes to having different opinions and trying to make them all work together. And of course, we need to find a way that is the best way of playing League of Legends to win. And maybe only one of us has like the correct idea, but we are willing to work with every idea just to like make it work. So maybe we are trying to recreate it, or maybe we just believe that this is the right thing to do, and this is how you not only have fun from winning, but you also have fun from practice, and you also have fun from just playing the game.
Sounds productive. Actually, quick question on your mentality when it comes to winning and where it comes to like the heights of winning. Are you the kind of person who's like looking at Worlds as I must go to Worlds and I will win Worlds? Or are you the kind of person where it's like, well, next week we play Rogue, let's focus on Rogue first?
Well, in 2021, I really wanted to go to Worlds, but we didn't.
Cries while smiling.
Right.
And this year, I feel like it's more about week per week. I don't actually think that much about like Worlds or MSI, because last year we were bad, and we didn't even place top 3, right? So I feel like, this year is all about just week per week, game per game, and wherever we can go to Worlds, to MSI, or however we will play by the end of the summer or spring split, I think that's completely up to us, and we just focus on the games, or I just focus on the games.
Well, let's see then what happens week per week, and focus on week 4. Your schedule especially, you'll be facing off against Mad Lions in day 1. It feels like the team is struggling a bit, but I mean, like you, they changed some key players. They didn't find success today against Misfits, actually. It was a pretty crushing victory.
So it'll be BDS, I believe, that G2 plays against on day 1, and then on day 2 they'll get Rogue. So day 1 almost like a warm-up-ish, but day 2 still the undefeated Rogue. Rogue playing up against XL, which, I mean, they're expected to win. So I think, Jankos, you're the last line of defense for the LEC to stop them getting a first half of the split win.
Definitely, right? I mean, I'm looking forward to BDS just because I can play against my ex-coaching staff. Yeah, actually, just ex-coaching staff, Grabs and Duffman. I feel like the advantage we have is, of course, the drafting department. I think like the draft will be very straightforward, and I think we are going to win on that. And I do think that even if I'm boosted and old, I will still be able to win a game just because of how bad drafts are from Grabs. When it comes to Rogue, though, well, their drafts are really good, right? So not only we have to have pick of our game, but also we need a good draft. So Dylan, hopefully you're listening. Hopefully you can deliver a good draft on both Friday and Saturday.
So you're telling me day 1, it's basically won by itself just because of who you're against, and day 2, you're the ones who are going to actually have to step up.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that's what I believe in. I mean, I don't want to be too cocky, right? Of course, BDS, lately at least, Chinkrov has had very good games. He was solo killing junglers or invading a lot and, creating pressure and doing all these things. Actually, I didn't watch their games, so I don't know, but I heard. I heard he was doing that. So I'm going to rewatch the games, definitely, and I'll try to learn to get to know him and know the team better so that, we can perform on Friday. Because in the end, again, every win is of equal importance. So it doesn't actually matter if we win against Rogue or BDS. We just have to win. So, Friday game, like all seriousness, super important.
We know you take game after game, but quick words on the matchup you will have against Malrang, especially bringing in the Damwon Kia magic, if I may say, to this Rogue lineup.
Yeah, I mean, he has been playing very well. He enables a lot of laners. He is quite creative when it comes to ganking, and he likes to sacrifice himself for the team. He actually reminds me a little bit of myself when I was younger. But I think that, I mean, again, he has been playing well so far, but everything that he does and Rogue do is not dark magic. It's not like black magic, You can actually see it and you can understand it, and it's something that other teams can do too, maybe not to such a high degree, because again, Rogue have very good drafts for the playstyle they have. So they are a beatable team, but so far they have been the best team in LEC, clearly, because, well, they did win against everyone. So hopefully we can snatch the victory.
Is a quick question before we go. Is there one team you think is overrated right now, or is not at the place in the standings where they belong? Like, what do you expect from some teams?
I mean, I do think Vitality actually is quite good, and it's not because we got stomped. It's just because I feel like the week 1 Vitality was like running down a lot. But right now, I feel like both in scrims and on stage, they actually play much better, and they have better drafts, which is very important. Drafts, by the way, very important. Just note it down. And they have great players, right? And they play better and better as a team. So I'm sure that by the end of the split, they will be up there. For other teams, I feel like it's somewhat deserved. Maybe Rogue surprised me for how good they play. I didn't expect them to do so well after losing Hansama and Inspired. I felt like both these players were the star players of the team. But it seems like with the addition of Malrang and Comp, they found their success, and they are way more of a team than they were actually in the previous years, I feel like. And they don't need to shine as well individually, but they kind of play very well together. So they are definitely strong team, and Definitely. A lot of respect,
yeah, one of the contenders for sure. We'll see. It's still early in the season. But for now, Jankos, thank you so much for joining us for PGL. Don't disconnect right away. We just want to take a selfie because
PGL selfie.
Trevor straight up refuses to take the selfie, so I have to do it.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll let you get in position.
We got his face in there? Nice.
Yeah, he's quite big, actually. I need to reposition.
That's what they all say about Jankos.
Bro!
That's what I heard.
Oh my God. Okay, but that's all for us here at the LEC for this week, Jankos. Thank you so much. But over in the LCS, the second lock-in semi-final is about to start, and you will have Evil Geniuses facing Cloud9. Inspired. You don't want to miss it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday in the LEC. Bye-bye then.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to Berlin, Germany, home of the LEC, to week 3, day 2 of the 2022 spring season. Just time to get it to off for the opening match of the day. Team BDS versus SK Gaming with Goldborg and Jankos.
You don't know this about me, Goldberg, but I love bottom teams versus bottom teams. I live for the teams at the bottom because they got a lot to fight for and they'll do weird stuff, and I love it. Big damage coming in. That's the Realmore coming into the backside as well. Gilly's going forward. Brian's going to go into the midst of the fight. They're going to take down Treats. There just aren't a lot of heroic playmaking champions on the side of SK. There's no flash forward Cassio ult. There's no crazy J4 engages. It's true.
Gilius doesn't have ultimate.
Gilius.
Goodbye.
Okay, that was really bad. BDS up to 3 and 4. SK down to 2 and 6. A clean win from the side of BDS.
For the second match of the day, as XL Esports hope for the Mickey X effect to kick in versus Astralis.
XL are focused on this objective. Zanzara looking to come over the wall. Can they knock him out? It goes in. Zanzara stole it! How many times are Barons gonna get stolen this weekend? Dayward in the middle of the entire team. Zanzara in the middle of the entire team. XL, they might win the fight, but they've lost the Baron. XL eviscerating Astralis, moving up to 3 and 4.
Misfits versus Mad is the game that we're going to be jumping into. Armor kicked back, Armor stunned up, Armor still alive though underneath the tower. It will now die. Super Mega Death Rocket finds its mark and here it takes the kill. 1-for-1 trade so far as VTO continues to rampage forward. Another Shuriken lands and VTO. Rogue, the only undefeated team left in the LEC versus Vitality. Jump in, gets onto Larson, but the final spark from Trimby's going to do a lot. GA popped on Selfmade. Maran keeping Labrov, Perks, and Kazi all at bay. Another kill to comp as he goes unstoppable. Call of the Forge God will land onto Kazi. He's down as well. Rogue, with this win, solidify themselves as the best team in the LEC.
Match of the week, Fnatic versus G2.
Broken Blade steps forward. Wonder could look for an engage here. The battle back. Broken Blade used his dash to go forward. Couldn't find the engage. Hylissang tries to get onto the backline, but immediately has to pop the stopwatch. What can Humanoid do? Hylissang's burst, but Humanoid needs to get in there before he gets destroyed.
Look at the excitement on their faces. A big win for G2. What a great game. Fnatic and G2 showing both strengths and weaknesses and a very intense back and forth.